An accused sicko cyber predator accused of kidnapping an underage girl so he could rape her. Prosecutors say the 32-year-old perv from California, Joshua Threlkel, used MySpace to lure his alleged victim and other young girls into sending him naked photos. Investigators say the sick scammer contacted at least 80 victims between the ages of 11 and 17. His alleged M.O., he posed as a 13-year-old girl, calling himself Sarah, who said she worked for a male photographer who photographed models. Get the picture? What's more, this guy's alleged victims were not just in the U.S. He hit Canada. He hit England. Tonight, he is hitting the slammer, and he could be charged with a whopping 149 counts when prosecutors get through with him. But what about these young girls from all over the world? Why did they fall prey? What do parents watching right now need to know to prevent this from happening to their precious daughters or sons? Let's face it, any child can be a target. One of the more depraved cyber predators we will cover tonight, Ray Canna, who called himself Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil nabbed after trying to seduce a 13-year-old girl online. Turns out that girl was an undercover cop. We will talk to somebody from that very task force who set up that sting. Meantime, one of the scariest hallmarks of this cyber predator crisis, cops say the creeps often come disguised as the friendly, law-abiding citizen. Exhibit A? Cops say Scott Ritter, the former chief UN's weapons inspector, who was reportedly charged in a sex sting back in 2001.
Did you ever go into an internet chat room looking for teenage girls to have a sexual encounter of any sort with? How about that?
Aaron, I will respond the same way, this way till Sunday. I was arrested in June 2001, charged with a Class B misdemeanor. I stood before a judge and the case was dismissed. The file was sealed, and I certainly wish you and everyone else would respect that.
As Ritter said, that case was dismissed, but then just last month, Ritter was arrested again after cops say he masturbated in front of a webcam, chatting online with an undercover cop posing as a 15-year-old girl. We have a national crisis, people. We've got to deal with it. Let's go straight out to my fantastic expert panel. Judge Greg Mathis, host of his own wildly successful syndicated show, Judge Mathis. Perry Aftab, internet, privacy, and security lawyer and executive director of WiredSafety.org. And Sergeant Terry Wright from the Bedford County, Virginia Sheriff's Department. They created Southern Virginia Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. And also on the phone, Xavier Von Erck, a legendary figure, director of operations at Perverted Justice. Let's start with you, Sergeant. Your task force nabbed Dr. Evil. How did you do it? How do you catch these guys at their own game on the internet?
Well, we go online and go to any of the chat rooms or anywhere on the internet where children go to communicate with each other through social networking sites, instant messaging, or what have you. Even online gaming these days are avenues for the children to interact with each other and communicate with one another.
Listen, Perry Aftab, you're the executive director of WiredSafety.org. Here's what I've heard from the experts. They say in these chat rooms, when an undercover sting operation begins and a undercover cop goes on and pretends to be a 13-year-old girl, the males come in like sharks that have just seen blood in the water. That they're saying it's that intense. When an undercover cop pretends to be a 13-year-old girl, instantly males start converging on that chatter.
That's true, and it's not just girls. About a third of the cases involve boys as victims as well, Jane.
Jeez, this is out of control. And it brings me to tonight's big issue, perverted patterns. It seems all of these creeps have an M.O. when they target kids. Prosecutors say at least 80 girls fell for Joshua Threlkel's sick scheme. He allegedly posed on MySpace as a 13-year-old model, convincing girls, hey, come over to my house or hotel for nude photo shoot. Worst of all, cops say he sexually assaulted one of them, and cops fear there may be more rape victims.
I'm Eric from Safe Light. So you think that chick's too small to worry about? Well, a big